Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Use This Stuff, where we are using as much stuff as we can get used up this month, which makes it sound like I'm just piling stuff on, but I'm not, I promise. MK and I decided we needed to start using a lot more packaged items to weed through our stash rather than creating our own embellishments, say from dies or Cricut or Silhouette, and really focus on using the prepackaged stuff because we have quite a bit of it. So I am actually using a set that I made in a little mini class at a retreat I did, and MK was the person who put on the little mini class, and I am kind of taking it apart. We did these shakers. Actually, the piece that's inside that tag is the sequins are run through a laminator, and so it doesn't make it bulky, which is an awesome way to put it on a page. But the sequins that were inside were orange, and I want them to be a different color because I am doing a 4th of July layout. And so I am using all of these stars that were cut out and put in this package. And I know this isn't like my purchased packaged items, but it has been floating around my craft room for quite some time. And I just really wanted to go ahead and get it on a page because I really liked it, but I didn't have a specific page in mind, and I thought it was perfect with these stars to go ahead and use it on this particular layout. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting a piece of acetate, actually I think it is actually sheet protector, to go behind this star, and then I'm going to put some foam tape, and since it's not going to be a tag, it's going to be on the paper, I don't need to worry too much about the back of it. Like, you're not going to see the back of the tag like you would if it was hanging from a gift or something. So that part doesn't have to be so pretty. I'm using a credit card on some white daisy close to my heart paper, and I'm just using a little bit of Postbox red acrylic paint from Dylusions. Now I have this paper. This is actually from a little a paper from a little boy's paper pad. Not paper pad. It's from Bo Bunny, and it's from one called Little Wonders, and it's like a baby boy collection. That's the word I'm looking for. And the one side has like trees on it, like you see right there, but the other side looks like stars and fireworks. So I'm using that because, again, this is 4th of July, and I want the red and the white to represent my red and white stripes of a flag, and these stars up in the blue to represent the blue part of a flag. And the girls are both wearing tank tops that have blue and white stars at the top and red and white stripes at the bottom. So I'm kind of mimicking that, and I really want those colors to show through on this acetate star. Now I have a couple of extra stars here, and as you can see, the foam in between is orange, and I didn't want that to show, and it did show a little bit too much, so I'm not using those two stars that have the orange foam. I am using the one on the right hand side of the layout there has white foam, and then I'm adding white foam behind this tag to create another shaker, and it's just going to go directly on to the paper. I'm not backing the star with anything other than the actual background of the page because I want that red and blue to show through where the two meet each other. Now I do have this other star that is it has an open center, so I'm going to back that also with some more acetate, or page protector is actually what I'm using this time. Usually I use acetate, but this page protector was already kind of butchered up, and so I'm using that. And again, this particular star has a orange piece of foam in it as well. So as you can see here, I'm cutting it down so that you're not going to see this orange foam, and I'm going to add this other star over it. Originally I was going to just cut the piece out of the center, or open up the center and pull those pieces of sequins. Oh my gosh. They're not just sequins. It's actually sequins. And then if you see the other star that's there with all those little punched paper stars, those are inside there as well. But what happened is the framework for this little piece that I just backed with acetate is really narrow, and I didn't want to try and put foam under that and not have it show because it is so narrow. So what I did was I just layered it over the other one, which it now looks like there's a double piece of wood veneer star or wood grained paper star, and it looks fine, and I actually like the way it looks. So I went ahead and did that so that I have enough room for that foam to be covered in that orange foam, because there wasn't showing in the inside of the shaker pocket. It was showing on the outside, so I trimmed it down and I put that other piece over it, so now you can't see that orange foam. Okay, hopefully that all made sense. I am inking up my other stars with a little bit of Black Soot Distress ink, and I'm just doing that to give them a little bit of extra pop. I could have used blue or red. I didn't really want to use red on the yellow, but I could have probably used blue, but black was handy. And sometimes when you put blue on top of yellow, it looks a little greenish. So I decided just to use the black. So here I'm just trying to figure out the placement of the photos and of the star, because I do want the red and the blue to show in the middle. And normally those intersecting lines bother my eye, but because it's part of the pattern of the background, it doesn't bother my eye. I don't know, it kind of seems a little weird to me that it wouldn't bother my eye on this particular case, but it doesn't. So I'm just going with it. I'm just trying to figure out the placement of the photos and against that star tag, because I don't want that corner of the photo to show. So I just marked it with a Sharpie and trimmed it out just a bit so that it doesn't you can't see the corner of the photo through the tag piece. Okay, I'm liking the way that this is looking. Gonna keep working on getting my photos all layered, and then I am taking the sequins from the center of this additional shaker pocket that I had made with the orange showing again, and I am just taking the sequins out of it so it will match the other two that already have sequins in them. So that large star on the right already had white foam in it, so I didn't have to do anything with that. The center one is the one that I just added that additional piece of wood grain around it so that you can't see the orange. And here's where I'm adding these little sequins and making sure that my sequins are all towards the center of the star so they don't get caught underneath the foam or anything like that when I lay it down. So I'm thinking that looks really good. I'm just going to set my acrylic block on it to kind of hold it in place while I work on the other pieces here. I do have a couple of pieces from, I think this is from the January embellishment box from MK's shop. These are some epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio with stars on them. And I'm going to tuck two of those in, and then I have some acrylic stars over on the right hand side left over from one of the other acrylic packages, and I'm going to go ahead and use those as well, tucking in a few. I'm not going to use all of them, I'm just going to use a few. And so I'm liking the way this is looking, just piling the stars on top and having it have a lot of texture and a lot of kind of interactive stuff to look at. I mean, a shaker pocket is kind of interactive, but once it's in a page protector, you know, you're gonna have to kind of move it around a little bit to get it to be super interactive. But anyway, it has movement and flow, and I really like that. So my title here is just going to be Let's Celebrate. Again, I'm using some thickers out of my stash, trying to get some of these used up. This is a really old Valentine's Day set, and I found the words Let's Celebrate, and I thought that's perfect for 4th of July, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. And I haven't used a single other thing off of this set that I am aware of. And it's been in my stash for quite some time. So getting something off of there makes me happy. Now the tag over there actually has some star texture on it as well, because when MK created these, she had run them through an embossing folder, and so I think that's really cool. So I've got just like lots of stars going on between the texture of that embossing folder, the texture and the movement of all of those sequins. Then I'm adding these acrylic and the epoxy pieces, and I think it looks really cool. There will be a little bit of space for journaling just underneath the stars there, or even on the tag between that epoxy piece and the shaker pocket. Even though there's a little bit of texture there, you could probably still journal there. And I'm going to leave that up to their mom, because I was not there for this particular occasion. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Don't forget to go check out what MK has on her channel as far as using up her embellishments and things that she's got in her stash. Her link is down below, and don't forget to come back on Wednesday. I'll have another video for you then. See ya. Bye-bye.